Hey guys, welcome back. It's Neon. I'm here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to well, first I want to say Happy Mother's Day to Geeky Sparkles.
Happy Mother's
and
Day.
all the other mothers listening to Clownfish TV.
Yes.
Thank you very much for giving...
Even if you're a pet mom.
A pet mom?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, a pet mom, not... A pet mom, not
like
a pet mom.
A dog mom or cat mom or hamster mom or
it's like, who
dribble mom or
mother is a pet.
Ferret mom or bunny mom, whatever.
Bunny mama.
Pet mom.
Pet mom. So
Brush
yeah,
that hair.
thank you for mothers and grandmothers and all of that for, you know, giving birth and taking care of us. And
okay, that just got weird. But anyway, Happy Mother's Day.
Unless it was the pets, and then that just gets really weird.
Yeah, you didn't birth the pets.
We didn't birth the pets.
Don't even try to. No.
Don't even go there. Okay, so
you're just off base to start.
We're going to kind of be all over the place. We're going to talk
Too late.
a little bit more about the Vic Mignogna situation. We're going to talk about Anime Matsuri, and we haven't really talked too much about this lately. And then we're going to talk about Godzilla because it actually does relate to Anime.
It does.
Matsuri.
It does.
Which, you know, we're kind of bummed now we're not going because they're going to have a Godzilla store, and it's like...
You ruined the surprise.
Oh, I didn't know there was supposed to be a surprise.
No, it wasn't. I was messing with you. Keep going.
Well, no, they're going to have a Godzilla store at Anime Matsuri, and that's like Squid King's favorite thing in the world.
We're going to talk about
Godzilla.
it later, but you already said about it.
There are more surprises.
Okay.
We're full of surprises. So first, we want to talk about the Vic Mignogna situation. We, again, haven't really been on it as much as some YouTubers. We're trying to kind of stay out of the...
Well, I just want to make sure we have, like, factual
right,
things, you know? I mean, I'm not saying that they don't. I'm just saying I want to make sure we, you know, we're staying on the side of, you know...
Let's stick to the facts, right?
That's what we're trying to do.
Because you can very easily, and we can very easily go down the Twitter hole because there's so much drama going on Twitter, you know, in relation to the Vic situation. So anyway, he was at Tupelo, I believe it's TupeloCon last week, and he had a panel, and they asked him kind of about, you know, the situation going on. Now, if you're not following the situation, Vic Mignogna, very prominent anime dub actor. He's Broly in Dragon Ball Z. Broly, of course, one of his most famous roles is probably Edward Elric from Full Metal Alchemist. He's done a lot of different voices. He was on Ruby. Was terminated from most places of employment following allegations that have kind of a spurious defense, I think. And since then, there's been a lot of controversy about him. He's been disinvited to a lot of conventions. He's retained a lawyer, Ty Beard, to sue Funimation and some of the people that I guess they've identified as being the primary harassers in the situation. It's kind of cost him dearly in his career. He was at TupeloCon last week, and he was very positive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they asked him during the Q&A, on a panel, they asked him about his career as voice acting and things. And one thing that they did mention in this article I thought was interesting was they asked him, how can we support you going forward? And they pointed out that instead of him, you know, saying, oh, you can give me money to my GoFundMe, you know, or whatever, he didn't do that. He said he wants people to go out and spread positivity into the world, which I agree with him.
Yeah, and, you know, regardless of where you stand on Vic, I think online especially there's so much vitriol being hurled.
Well, he brings that up, and he's not wrong. Go ahead, down to what he said.
It is. Now, this is a transcript here. I will give you a link to this article, and you can go find this video for yourself.
You can watch the entire video. So, do you want me to read it, or do you want to read it?
Oh, you can go ahead and read it.
Okay, so how do you support me in the future? You know what? If you want to support me in the future, be positive. Be a voice for good. There's a lot of hate in the world. Amen. It's really sad, especially for those of us that are older and have been around for a while, to see it change. It's really sad to see so many people so fast to be offended by something. Yes. So on edge, just waiting for somebody to offend them, or just waiting to be outraged by something. Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead, you can read the next one.
So the best thing you and I and all of us can do, and that you can do, because obviously there are a lot of you, is be a shining light in your world, no matter how big or small that world may be. You may be sitting there thinking, I'm quiet and I'm shy, and I don't really talk much, and I don't really have a lot of people in my circle. Yeah, but you have some. You may not have as many as that person, or that person points across the room, but there are people in your life, and you have the power to speak words of light and kindness and encouragement and inspiration into those people's lives, or you also have the power to tear them down, make them feel bad, or to hurt them, or to discourage them. Now let's ask the $1 million question. What would you rather someone do in your life? Wouldn't you want them to be encouraging and supportive, helpful, kind, then be that for someone else?
That's the best thing you can do, okay? And he's not wrong, because, you know, so many times I hear people they're like, well, I don't really have a lot of people, or I want to do this, but I don't have a lot of people support it. And it's like, well, you just start with what you can do, you know, and do good in your own life, and then it'll move on.
Yeah, so he really didn't get into, you know, I mean, obviously there's some stuff he just can't talk about, I'm sure, because there is a lawsuit going on. But so it was met with uproarious response of applause from the attendees. And really, you know, this kind of goes back to the root of a lot of the stuff that we're seeing online now, just in the last like 3 or 4 years, especially, where there are outrage mobs out there on the internet just kind of waiting to pounce, like people looking for something to be angry about, to be upset about. I mean, we see it all the time.
They find the stupidest things to get mad about.
Stupidest things. And especially with pop culture. Like, they've really, for whatever reason, these people have zeroed in on pop culture and just everything. Gaming, comics, anime, movies, everything is offensive. Yeah. Everything's about, even the most innocuous thing will piss somebody off. And because one person or a dozen people get offended by something very harmless or innocuous, or maybe it just, you know, they didn't really think about it too much, then all of a sudden it's you know, they start brigading on blogs and on Twitter and trying to get people fired. And it's just like, God, when did Americans become such pussies?
Oh, it's not all Americans.
No, but I'm like, we used to have thicker skin, you know? And because a handful of people get offended about something, then it's sort of like our free speech is sort of being encroached upon, because we have to make sure that everything is palatable for everybody.
But there's no way to do that.
There's no way to do that.
And the thing that makes me mad is this new trend too now, where if you don't like something that certain group, you know who I'm referring to, likes, then that is the cue for you to be called everything they can think of. You're some kind of ist, you're alt-right, you're whatever. I just didn't like the way you drew whatever character. I didn't like the way you portrayed whatever character. Well, that's just because you're a misogynist pig. I'm like, no, it has nothing to do with that. I just didn't like the way you did the character. And but like the song thing we talked about before, they all don't like it either. So now it's okay not to like it because they agree with you.
Yeah,
So it's a bunch of crap. But
it's only if it offends them. It doesn't really care. They don't care about offending other people. It's only if it offends.
Right, if it's them. It's very myopic. I was going to read something and you keep moving.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Mignogna will also be attending various conventions throughout the year. The fans worked hard to get the voice actor approved for the panels following a string of campaigns from the Kick Vic people. Eventually his fan support won, and he was reinvited to KamehamehaCon, Bubba Fest, SavannahCon, other conventions. And the Bubba Fest organizers said the ticket sales were tremendous. So, you know...
Yeah, he is getting reinvited to conventions. I think he did a convention in Pennsylvania, too, not too long ago. And I think, I mean, especially, look, we kind of saw this with, you know, I think the tide is kind of turning. I mean, obviously, if someone is clearly in the wrong and there's all kinds of evidence, like, again, people keep bringing up, and it infuriates me, they bring up the pro Jared situation, and they bring up the Vic Mignogna situation, and they try to be like, well, it's the same thing. I'm like, no, pro Jared, you know, there's so much evidence against pro Jared, you know, and I've seen it and it's disgusting. In Vic's situation, you know, we've had a lot of rumors, we've had a lot of stories, but there's never been any, like, smoking gun.
Right.
And some of the evidence, you know, from where we're sitting, you know, especially from, like, Anime News Network stuff, has been fabricated. It's been you know...
Well, it came out that the people they were putting as pictures that were supposedly proof of this behavior.
They're misusing the photos. It turned out they were
misrepresenting. No, they did take them down.
They did. Put a little teeny tiny thing in the bottom, like, oh, well, we might have been, you know.
So it's really hard to know what's true, what's not. What I think is interesting, though, is that, you know, he could have sat there and he could have called these people out and he could have done it. He didn't.
Yeah, he could have been vindictive. I think other people might have
they keep it going all the time,
gone on the offensive, and you know, I can honestly say I don't know if I would have kept my mouth shut, I would have been like, what the. But he's also involved in a legal battle.
Too.
Yeah, he's also involved in a legal battle right now, and you can't really give your accusers any ammunition against you. Like,
but meanwhile, wasn't in the other thing we were talking about, weren't the other two people, I'm not going to name names, they were trying to get them to stop talking about it online because they were posting things that they shouldn't be? Their deposition,
yeah. Well, no, it's people they were being deposed. Mako Real and her husband or fiance,
I think.
And they were trying to basically tell them they weren't allowed to tweet about it, and they wanted to tweet about it, and then they were stalling for time. This whole thing is
I don't know. I mean, we don't...
so ridiculous.
So anyway, we brought this up because, no matter what you think, he's not going on the defense and saying things. He's just like, hey, be positive. Whatever it turns out to be, stay positive. Which, whether you like him or not, it's still a good message for anybody. Stay positive.
Yeah, and especially like with the comic book situation,
I'm positive. I hate She-Ra. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, it's just with the comic book situation too, we see how like absolutely insane some of the people are on comics Twitter now. They're just so miserable, and I think a lot of it comes down to just they're not happy where they're at in their career. They're not happy with the state of the industry, but rather than trying to find a solution, they just attack people who have been more successful than they have. And that's instead of doing that, you should be like, why is this person successful and I'm not successful? Maybe there's something. Maybe I need to look in the mirror and be like, is there something wrong with me? Am I sort of, pushing success away? It sounds like it sounds like it's sort of something that should be
I was
like
just
a
thinking
card
about,
but
his message of positivity. And, it's easier to be a positive person when you have brushable hair like that.
It is. That's
I'm just
why
saying.
I'm so negative.
That's
because
right.
my
but you
hair
have
is
brushable hair.
flocked.
It's just not on your head. So I'm just like...
Hey, it's not that bad. I've got flocked
You're
hair.
flocked.
I'm
it's
fuzzy.
fuzzy.
I'm fuzzy.
It's very flocked. I'm brushing it with my hand right now. Okay.
I'm gonna grow a fro one of these days, and everybody's gonna be shocked. They're gonna be like, I'll take my hat off, and they'll be like, oh my god, what happened? I'm like,
just stop shaving it.
Yeah, there we go.
That would probably help.
Yeah, I know, but it's so easy. Like, it's like shave and go.
So now we're gonna go from this to Anime Matsuri, which is bringing in. You're gonna say, bet? They're bringing.
But you said they're bringing. Oh wait, are we talking about this, or are we talking about the other people?
No, I meant they're bringing in.
Okay, we'll talk about this later.
No. Yeah, we're gonna go. Okay, no, I was gonna talk about them bringing in, Vic. They're bringing Vic into the show, but they're not. People aren't mad. They're not having a fit about that so much. Now they announced that they're bringing Apink in, which is a big Korean pop group. And immediately when they announced this, then the stuff here you can go ahead and.
Let's see. Well, some people are really excited about this, but other people are not. So there's a lot of people who are basically saying, do not, I can't believe Anime Matsuri has a lot of previous entities, staff, and volunteers saying they've been treated unfairly. Apink will be a performer under this management at PlayM Official. Please reconsider.
Because I guess the last group they had canceled, and they're trying to get this group to cancel. They're saying that the disrespect women's rights, disregards women's rights. So they're actually going out after guests.
Yeah, they're kind of attacking the guests, and it goes on and on and on. Now, okay, this isn't surprising. We talked a little bit about there is an anti Anime Matsuri, even before Vic came in.
Yeah, this has nothing to play. Do with
that Anime Matsuri's showrunner, convention owner, whatever. There was some controversy around him, and he actually admitted, he made some mistakes, and he said he was going to do better last year. But there is a movement. It's actually called Boycott Anime Matsuri, and I would show you their tweets, but I can't because I'm blocked, and I don't know why. I have no idea why I'm blocked. I've never talked to them ever, interacted with them ever. But they've been going around trying to, basically they're not going to be happy until Anime Matsuri goes out of business. That is their goal, and but now they're, again harassing guests with, tweet after tweet after tweet after tweet after tweet, to the place where,
yeah, go ahead,
where Anime Matsuri had to retain legal counsel. So Anime Matsuri is actually going to be using Ty Beard, who is representing Vic Mignogna, because they are constantly being bombarded by people that are trying. Again, think what you will about Anime Matsuri and the guy running Anime Matsuri. That's one thing, but to harass the guests.
So they're trying to talk them into not coming to tank the show. And the thing is, and then, sometimes people will still come in if you tell them not to, because maybe they have to. Maybe that's their livelihood. Maybe they have contractual agreements they can't get out of without causing them a lot of damage. There's lots of reasons why they still would have to go. And harassing them isn't going to change anything. You made them aware, but you leave them alone. You know what? You just leave them alone. So
yeah, I don't understand that. Like, you know, if you don't like a particular guest, and we've been to conventions where we don't like specific guests, they've actually, you know, it's funny when you actually do the convention circuit and you do like, you know, Artist Alley or whatever, they will actually ask you, is there anybody you don't like? And we won't sit you next to them.
Right.
In
There's
Artist
been
Alley.
cons we didn't like. We went to the con and we weren't too big on the con, and we just didn't go back. We didn't badmouth the con or whatever because, you know, it's not everybody's involved's fault if you have one problem with one person. We just didn't go back. And in this case, they're mad because of, I suppose, there was alleged harassment like 4 years ago. Is that what it was? Like
I think it was like 4. Yeah,
or?
it was like, yeah, and ever since then, there has been this boycott Anime Matsuri, you know, and he did, you know, the showrunner, let me see here. He did admit that, yeah, you know, maybe he did some stuff he shouldn't have done. He tried to apologize for it.
He said some of it isn't true.
Yeah, some of it's not true. But that's the thing. I mean, it's stuff. And, you know, it's funny because they were saying on Twitter that, you know, if Vic would just fess up, everything would be fine. If he would just fess up to what he did, you know, apologize, which he did apologize. He basically said
but he was not going to apologize for something he didn't do.
No,
he apologized that he might have hugged people too many times.
Right. He said maybe I hugged people and I just assumed they wanted hugged. But I didn't molest anyone. That's not, you know, that never happened. But there is this, you know, this boycott Anime Matsuri.
So
and
it sounds like there were some messages sent between him and friends, and the friends leaked the messages. Is that what's going on? It was meant to take his humor between friends. They were wrong. They were crass. They were bad taste. I was wrong to send them.
Just assume anymore with the way the internet is that like anything you send to somebody in confidentiality at some point in time
can go on the internet.
Might wind up going public. So just you know, just beware. Anyway. Point being is that Anime Matsuri was in the crosshairs before they brought Vic in, and now that they brought Vic in too, it's like it's a double whammy. But to harass the other guests, that's not cool.
And it's just like, cool. You know, and it's like, well, it would be shame something happened to them kind of thing. But they're meaning the convention people, but it comes kind of across as like, you know what I mean? It's just not good.
Yeah, I mean,
they're trying to get people to not come so that they tank the conventions. What's going on?
Yeah, and they're tweeting at, you know, their I believe it's their management or their label, and yeah, it's just this is crazy, and you know, they're probably looking at this. I mean, I don't know how they're taking this in Korea, but they're probably looking at this like, what the hell is wrong with these Americans? Like, why are they being so crazy over one convention? So yeah, now that Ty Beard's going to get involved too, so this is nuts.
But in good news.
Can we get the?
Yeah, we can talk to the good news now. The good news is they're going to bring the Godzilla store to Anime Matsuri, which I'm so bummed we're not going to Anime Matsuri because that would be fun just to go to the Godzilla store.
Yeah, this is the first time.
For Squid King.
Yeah, I know. Squid King, that's like his favorite thing in the world. Is Godzilla.
So this is really cool. So the world's first and only official Godzilla store Tokyo, will be leaving Japan for the first time and making its North American debut at Anime Matsuri in Houston, Texas on June 14th through 16th, courtesy of Godzilla's 65th anniversary celebration by Toho, which is amazing. Squid King was very, very, very excited.
Yeah, this looks like his bedroom.
Kind of. This is a little neater. There's not the dust bunnies, but he has cleaned. Which he has cleaned.
He has cleaned. Well, he didn't know his bedroom was going to be on YouTube. He was kind of like, this is cool.
New and old fans of the monsters from the longest-running franchise in movie history will have the opportunity to shop and experience the atmosphere and official products, including new merchandise, for the first time in the U.S. Official products from the Japanese movies and the new Godzilla King of the Monsters film will be available for the attendees to purchase.
Oh, man.
Think of Squid King. Anyway,
think of Squid King.
There's going to be an area displaying statues and official artwork and storyboards. I know.
They've got Shin Godzilla's little, like, weird fish form.
Isn't it some beautiful?
Oh, my God.
So the Godzilla store, Tokyo Anime Matsuri, is for people of all ages. Bring your friends and family and experience the universe of Godzilla with, I know.
Those are the ones he has.
Yeah, no. With the official toys, books, apparel. They have apparel. Plushies, accessories, and more. One-of-a-kind experience. Yes, if you're going to Anime Matsuri, send us pictures. I do love this. It must have been Easter time because they gave them all bunny ears.
Yeah, that's
I think that's glorious. Cool. So they're going to be doing that. Of course, King of the Monsters comes out at the end of this month. I am so excited. That's what I want for Mother's Day is to go see Godzilla. Squid King told me early reviews are out and they said it's amazing. They said it's nonstop action and it's incredible. So I am very excited. I'm so excited I could pee. Happy Mother's Day.
Please don't do that.
I am so happy.
Although it is Mother's Day, I would clean it up for you.
But yeah, thank you. But you know what else even is exciting still in the U.S. The King of the Monsters? And Squid King said, go look it up because he was so excited about it. Apparently, go ahead and pull it up. at the theater, the Hollywood Cinerama Dome.
Right, which is a big inflatable dome.
They added a sculpture of Godzilla busting out the top. And the one article I gave you has it during the day. Here.
Yeah,
are you allowed to play that?
I don't know.
And then at night, it has a light coming out of its mouth, so it shoots the light up into the sky. There it is.
This is so cool.
He was all excited. He's like, "Go look it up." Well, it looks like little airbags on top to, it look like it's busting out. But he was so excited about that. He's like, "Go look it up. Go look it up." So we wanted to show it to you. But at night, it lights up blue out of the mouth.
Oh man, that's cool.
If you're there and you get pictures, send them so we can show Squid King because he loves it.
Yeah, if we got anybody out in LA, that'd be cool.
Yeah, if you get pictures of this, send them.
That's cool.
But yeah, so if you're lucky enough to go to Anime Matsuri, you're gonna get to see the Godzilla store. I'm so jealous. Squid King's jealous.
Yeah,
take pictures because we'll be sad.
I know, this is awesome. Yeah, we haven't done anime cons in a while. We used to do a lot of anime cons.
We did, because we had our comic and, stuff like that, and we did the show and stuff.
Yeah, so we used to get invited to a lot of anime cons, particularly on the East Coast, mostly on the East Coast.
Yeah.
And I kind of miss doing it. We haven't done it in like 5 years.
I know, I miss it too. I love it. I love anime cons.
Anime cons are totally different vibe than comic book conventions.
I'd agree.
But they're a lot of fun.
And they used to be so positive. Everybody went nuts.
They used to be, yeah, and that's what, to kind of take everything back to Vic.
They're one of my favorite things to do because everybody's so excited. And then the excitement and the costumes, and everybody was like, high-fiving each other, and it was just a fantastic place to go. It was just
it
pumped up and energetic and great.
And I think a lot of that's because there were so many young people there. Mm-hmm. It really kind of felt like
I love doing them.
Almost like a frat party and somewhat, but
not that way. I mean,
not in a bad way.
They had a lot of positive energy.
There was a lot of positive energy and a lot of kids just kind of cutting loose and they were definitely a lot more exciting, more fun than comic book conventions. But now, with all of the stuff going on, I really think that they're not going to be as fun. I think that
everybody's too guarded now.
Everybody's going to be too guarded.
You have to.
And it's going to be very kind of buttoned down, and because everybody's afraid, of what's acceptable now, maybe 5 years from now won't be, and that's just one really sad thing that happened, because of the situation, with Vic, regardless of where things fall, is that I really think it's. People used to just run up and hug each other for no reason at anime
I was thinking that we went to the last
anymore.
we went to was in Pittsburgh, and our daughter Pinky Boo, she dressed up like Ponyo, and she was little, so she dressed up as Ponyo and had the bucket, and she kind of looked like Ponyo, and she had the hair.
She does look like Ponyo.
She did that, yeah.
She did.
And people were stopping her for pictures. Now, of course, they'd ask me first. They would ask the mom always. And then she posed with like Sailor Scouts and Draculaura.
There were other Ghibli characters there.
And they were asking her to pose with them, and she posed with different people.
Like Mononoke, and they had didn't they have I thought they did like a Ghibli group shot, and they had her as Ponyo.
I don't know, but if you see a picture from Tekko from a few years ago, and there's a little Ponyo in it, that would be Pinky Boo.
And she looked just like her.
We decided like the day before we were going, and I went and got some stuff from Goodwill and made her an outfit. But she loved it, and the people there, they would always ask. They would always say, "Can I take your picture?" And they'd always ask me, "Is it okay if we take a picture with her?" And every time we've gone to any anime con, come to think of it, they don't just run up and take pictures. They always ask, like, "Can we take your picture?" I mean, there's always been a lot of respect about that. I just don't understand when it went all weird.
Everything just got weird in the last couple of years, and I think that's really, kind of where, we're at with stuff too. And I really do feel, Vic coming from this, people who are older kind of remember. I mean, we're not quite as old as Vic, but, we're older than a lot of the anime fans now, I think. And we remember a time, when things.
That was like 3 years ago.
We remember a time 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
When people didn't get offended about anything. Actually, this has been kind of creeping up, I think, for the last, 6, 7, 8 years.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's so sad that there are young adults now that don't remember a time when you weren't out there looking for things to be offended about. Like, there are people literally, it's like they go to college to look for problems, and then they get out into the workforce, and that's all they do is find problems.
Well, it's funny to me too. I mean, it's like, several years ago, if a movie didn't do well, then the studio would be like, what did we do wrong? What can we do better? Now, if something doesn't do well, they blame it on all the fans and tell them, they try to call them names and bully them into liking it, and then say it can't be our fault that we made a crappy movie. It has to be your fault for not going to our crappy movie.
Yeah,
it's never used to happen like that. It's like, it bombed. What did we do wrong?
Yeah, it's because they don't want to take the blame. They want to blame the fandom, and it's just so.
I think it's an age range too. I mean, I don't want to be ageist, but I do think it's a certain.
Yeah,
more
and they
so.
sort of like, I mean, the people who behave this way, like, I think it started with younger people. You know, they're basically activists first and fans second, and then it sort of like infected some of the older people, because you see a lot of the older people who were like we know, so especially in comics, like we know a lot of these people, and they were totally normal people like 10 or 15 years ago, and the last like 3 or 4 years they've gone absolutely batshit and insane on Twitter, and they've joined the mobs and stay relevant.
I think they're trying to. Yeah, I have to scream too, so I don't lose my gig. But it's funny because kids, a lot of kids that are Squid King's age and Peekaboo's age, and I worked in schools and stuff. They think this is stupid too.
Yeah,
they think it's a bunch of crap too, and they think it's dumb, and they don't want to deal with it. So I would say the younger generation, there's hope for them anyway. So.
Yeah, I think Gen Z is gonna turn things around.
They're gonna restore balance, hopefully. Yep. Anyway, so
we will be perfectly balanced.
That's right. Are we wrapping this up then?
We're going to wrap this one up. Stay positive, people. Try to stay positive. There actually are some good things going on. And I think it's just, it's always darkest before dawn.
Well, it's a good message. It's a good message. See what you can do for others and make their day better. And then, by doing that, it makes you better. So stay on positivity and move forward.
Meanwhile, they're complaining about Tifa's boobs on Final Fantasy VII.
Okay. I complain about Shira, so I'm not going to
about her boobs for 20 years.
That doesn't mean you can't not like things.
Yeah,
you can still not like things and still be a good person, a positive person. Just, you don't have to like everything.
You don't have to like everything.
Anyway,
all right.
Are we wrapping this up?
Yeah, we're going to wrap this one up. Thanks so much for listening. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, rants, gaming videos, art videos, and more here on Clownfish TV. This has been Neon and Geeky.
Bye.
Hey guys, thanks for watching Clownfish TV. Please consider supporting the channel. Go to clownfishsupport.com. That's clownfishsupport.com. And if you want to join our community, go to clownfishtalk.com. That's clownfishtalk.com. Please subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We will talk to you next time.